Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. This past week, Mama June Road to Redemption aired, and I'm going to give you guys a recap. So it picked up where it left off, which was Josh going to pick up Alana from Mama June's house. So they left Alana there. Pumpkin left Alana there after their visit. When she got home, Josh was not happy about the fact that she left Alana there. However, he was going to go with it until the next morning. The next morning, Alana calls Pumpkin, and they've been apartment shopping. They've been looking for apartments. And that bothers Pumpkin and Josh because Mama June has Alana doing this. So, kind of hyping Alana up like, oh, this is my bedroom. This will be our house. You know, so they get bothered by it. Josh decides he's going to go get Alana, and he does. He shows up at Mama June's house, knocks on the door. Mama June answers, and she appears to be mad, but she's kind of laughing at the same time. So I don't know if this is staged and it's bad acting, or if this really happened and she just thought it was funny. I'm not sure. But she asked Josh, you know, what are you doing here? He said, I'm here to get Alana. And she said, well, I don't think so. Like, Alana's fine. She's here. Pumpkin allowed her to stay, and I haven't heard anything from Pumpkin. So why are you here? He just walks right on in, right past Mama June. And Mama June even says, you're just going to walk into my house? And he goes, yep. So he walks in and he tells Alana, like, hey, I'm here to get you. Pack your stuff. Let's go. We got a long drive. Let's go. Alana, too, is shocked. She's like, I don't understand. Pumpkin hasn't texted me to let me know that you're on your way, so what's the problem? And Mama June said, you need to remember, I'm her mama. And Josh said, you may be her mama, but you left her, and I have custody of her now. So while you're her mama, I'm her legal guardian. So what I say goes. Mama June said, why didn't Pumpkin call us? We know that Pumpkin wears the pants in this relationship. So who really made this decision? Is this Pumpkin? Because she didn't call me and tell me. And Josh said, in this situation, I wear the pants. Because what I say is going in the situation. Alana, go get your bags. Let's go. Alana once again starts to say something. And Gino, who has been the voice of reason this season, tells Alana, just go get your bags. This is your first visit. We don't want to mess it up. So just go get your bags and we'll handle it. We'll deal with it. Don't worry. So she goes and she gets her bags and they go to leave. And as they're leaving, Josh does tell Mama June and Gino that he is proud to see that they are doing better. He still doesn't believe that it's going to be perfect, you know, and he still is waiting for the shoe to drop at any time. But as he goes to leave, he does tell him, he's like, hey, I am glad to see you guys doing better. They walk outside. Honey Boo Boo was like, why did you come here? And he said, your mama always has a way of messing things up in our life. And I'm tired of, you know, picking up the pieces when she hurts you guys. So I'm not going to let it happen this time. So you're coming home. They get in the vehicle. They head home. So as all of this is going on, we pan over to the next scene, which is Pumpkin going over to Dodo's house. Pumpkin goes to Dodo's house and she tells Dodo that she needs some cookies and a chair and she wants to talk. She tells Dodo that she's been really stressed out because of the whole situation with Mama June and Alana. They sit down. She tells Dodo that Alana stayed at Mama June's house. And Dodo is like, what? What do you mean? And she said, well, we were packing to leave. Alana wanted to stay. And I understand. I understand why she wanted to stay. Mama June seems to be doing so much better. So I agreed to let her stay. So she stayed. And she said, you know, while we were there, though, it just really bothered me because Mama June is only wanting to focus on the good things. Like, she don't want to talk about the bad things. And while we were there, she was telling us about how she was going to get off, that she's got this new lawyer, and the lawyer doesn't even think that they could charge them with being in possession, and that she wasn't going to serve no time. Well, Dodo tells Pumpkin, that's not the truth. When your mom come by my house, they had just left Alabama from their court date, and the judge straight up told your mama that she was looking at time, and straight up told Gino that he was looking at time. Your mom could face up to 2 years. Gino could face up to 10 years. And that's what the judge told them. So I don't know why your mama is telling you that she's going to get off with it. So Pumpkin, who had believed her mom, is now like, what? Really? Because Mama June had told Pumpkin that she got this good lawyer that was going to get him off of it. And Pumpkin kind of believed it. So when Dodo tells her that's not the case, Pumpkin gets upset and she feels let down again. And she tells Dodo, I don't know why Mama June couldn't just tell us the truth. Pan over to the next scene. So the next scene is Josh and Alana in the car on the way home, and it's silence at first, and Josh says, you know, we got a long trip. You can either set it in silence or you can talk about it. And Alana shoots him the finger, the bad finger though, you know, and he goes, wow, okay then. And he talks to her a little bit. He says, you know, when you get older, you'll realize that I'm doing this because I care about you. You are part of my family, and I just don't want to see you hurt again by your mother. So you may not understand it now, but when you get older and you have kids, you will understand why I'm doing this. Now we go over to Mama June and Gino. They have gotten them a new house. They're in their new house. Gino is putting up boxes. He's unpacking things. Mama June has a scheduled meeting with her therapist, and she does really good with these from what I understand. Like, she was always doing her weekly meetings. She was doing everything that she needed to do to work on her sobriety. So she's doing her meeting with her therapist. She tells her therapist the girls came, everything was going good. Pumpkin left, Alana stayed, but then Josh shows up out of nowhere to get Alana. The therapist asks, is there anything that happened that would be something that would bother them? And she said, well, yeah, we took Alana looking for houses, you know, for us. And the therapist said, don't you see how that could probably bother them? Maybe step on their toes a little bit, not telling them that you're taking Alana to look for houses. And Mama June says, well, you know what? I just don't care. Like, I just don't care. Like, everybody's looking into my past. Everybody just wants to focus on the fact that I'm an addict. Nobody wants to focus on the fact that I'm doing good and that things are looking better for our lives. Like, everybody just wants to focus on the negative. And I don't want to do that. Like, I want to think about us getting settled, Alana possibly coming living here. And the therapist is like, no, you have to be realistic with what's going on right now. So at one point during the Zoom call, they start talking about the charges, and Mama June says something about how she wasn't completely honest with the girls. And the therapist tells her, you have to be honest with them. Like, you may not want them to think about the possibility of you going to jail, but they need to know that. Because if you're telling them that it's not going to happen, but then it happens, they're going to feel let down. You lied to them. Or if you tell them that it's not going to happen and they find out from someone else that it's a possibility, once again, they feel let down because you was not honest with them. So if you want things to stay on the correct path, you have to be honest with them, even when the truth sucks, you know. So Mama June gets off the call. Gino comes back in and he says, you know, I think before you can be honest with the girls, you have to be honest with yourself, June. We're looking at jail time. And that's just the reality of it. And Mama June says, no, I don't think we're going to go to jail. But even if we do, like, I'm a celebrity. They're going to put me in a jail for celebrities, you know, like a nice room with a chef. And she said, like Martha Stewart. They gave Martha Stewart a chef. And Gino says, Martha Stewart was the chef. You are not getting a chef. They're not putting you in no type of jail for celebrities. Like, in jail, nobody gives a crap about who you are. In jail, you're not going to be calling people the B word or MFers like you do out here. And Mama June asks why. And he says, because you'll get beat up or you could possibly get stabbed. Like, you have to open your eyes to realize that we could be going to jail. And jail is nothing to play with. You can't go in jail acting like you're famous because nobody gives a crap. He says, so that's the reality of it. You need to be thinking about that. It then flips to the next scene, which is Pumpkin and Jessica. They are waiting for Josh and Alana to make it home. They're talking about what may happen when Alana gets there. You know, they're like, Alana's going to be mad. Jessica says it could be World War II once she gets here because she just may be very upset with us. And she says, you know, she may act out like she did when we first got her. So Josh and Alana gets home. They pull up. And Alana comes in and she says, I'm tired from this ride. I'm going to bed. You could tell she was a little sideways. She was a little unhappy with the fact that she was home. So Josh, he sits down and they ask, like, how did the ride go? And he's like, well, it's okay. You know, she's mad, but she's going to be mad. And then Pumpkin tells Josh, Mama hasn't called me. I was surprised. I figured she would call me as soon as you guys left. And Josh said, well, that's because your mama knows who rules the roost, and I rule the roost. And then Pumpkin tells Josh that Mama June could be looking at time. So Pumpkin then feels that she needs to go talk to Alana and tell Alana the truth about the fact that Mama June could be facing jail time. So she goes in there and she sits down and she tells Alana she knows that she's probably upset with her for them going to get her, but the apartment hunting that bothered them. And then Alana said, I just figure with Mama doing so much better, if she gets an apartment, that maybe it would be time for me to move in with her, because I don't want to be a burden on y'all. And Pumpkin looks shocked, and she's like, no, you are not a burden on us, and you can stay here as long as you need to. Like, as long as you need somewhere, it's us. Like, you're gonna stay here. She then breaks it down to Alana that what Mama June told him about the lawyer was not true. That Mama June has not hired this awesome lawyer, that she still has the same attorney that didn't even really know what their charges were, and that the judge told Mama June that she could be going to jail for up to 2 years and that Gino could go to jail for up to 10. Alana was saddened and shocked, and she was like, I don't know why Mama just couldn't tell us the truth. She then asked, well, who's going to take care of Mama June if Gino goes to jail but Mama don't? Because someone needs to take care of Mama. She can't take care of herself. Pumpkin said, we'll cross that bridge when we get there, but for now, we just have to realize that this is a reality. We don't want to think about you going to live over there because Mama still has this court date. So before Pumpkin calls it a night, they make a pinky promise that no more lies, that it will always be them, their family, they will stick together, and that will stop feeling like she is a burden to Josh and Pumpkin. So they make a pinky promise, and then Pumpkin goes out, they go to bed. Next morning, Dodo shows up to get the scoop on how Alana felt after Josh picked her up and brought her back home. So when Dodo arrived, Pumpkin was in like the dining room area making gift baskets for Ella's 3rd birthday party. Ella's 3rd birthday party is coming up, and Pumpkin said they are having a princess extravaganza. So they're making the little gift baskets. Dodo sits down and she asks, how was it? How mad was Alana? Have you heard from Mama June? And she says, you know, that she was upset because Mama June had fed her all this fantasy stuff about how everything was back normal. Things were going to be perfect. I'm not going to jail. I'm not looking at any jail time. So it's smooth sailing from here on out. And she told her that she had to break it to Alana that was not the case. Dodo asked, how did Alana take it? And she said, it was okay. Like, obviously, they're going to be bothered if Mama June goes to jail. It's going to set them back once again in building their relationship. But she understands, you know, that Alana understands that this is coming. This is a possibility. Then Dodo talks a little bit about the fact that Mama June is doing the same thing that their mom did. Dodo said, our mom was always gone. I had to raise June. And she said when their mama would come back, she would try to buy June's love. But June always come back to Dodo because that's where she felt safe. And she said it'll be the same with Alana. If Mama June don't straighten up and she continues to lie, that Alana will always want to be with Pumpkin because that's where she feels safe. That she may go to Mama June for a little bit, but she will always go back to Pumpkin because that's where she feels safe and at home. So Dodo leaves. As she's heading home, she calls Mama June. She's like, look, you are trying to repair this relationship with the girls, but it's not going to go well if you're not honest with them. Like, you have to tell them that you're looking at jail time. Like, I already told Pumpkin, she's already told Alana, but they need to hear it from you because it'll show that you're trying to be honest. So you need to do that. Like, you have to tell them. They get off the phone. Mama June decides she's going to call Pumpkin and they're going to talk about it. And she's going to be honest. Even though she don't want to face the reality that she could be going to jail, she has to face that reality so she can be honest with her girls. So she texts Pumpkin and she's like, I'm going to send you guys a link. I need you guys to get on a Zoom with me. So Pumpkin and Alana sit down and they get on a Zoom call with Mama June. And it first starts off kind of rough because Mama June is kind of mad. This is the first time that Mama June has talked to Pumpkin since Pumpkin left. And then, you know, Josh came. So she's like, I've been trying to get in touch with you. And she's like, no, 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 no. And then Honey Boo Boo says, no, no, we're not going to do that. We're not going to fight about them coming to get me. We're just going to leave it alone. So then Mama June is like, okay, listen, this is the reason why I wanted to talk to you guys. It's been hard for me to be honest with myself about the possibility we may go to jail, but we may. We could be looking at jail time. I wanted to hire this lawyer that said he could get us off of it, but I haven't been able to. She even tells the girls at one point that she's thought about representing herself. And the girls was like, you cannot do that. But she tells the girls, look, we're looking at jail time. As they're in the middle of the conversation, Pumpkin gets sick and has to run to the bathroom. She goes to the bathroom. She's nauseous. Mama June and Alana end up getting off the Zoom call. Mama June does ask, like, what's wrong with her? And Alana says, well, I don't know. She's not the best cook, so maybe she's sick from the food that she cooked. I don't know. They get off the Zoom call. Alana has to get back to her schoolwork. When Pumpkin comes out, she asks Alana, hey, will you watch Ella for a few minutes? I got to run some errands. She leaves and she goes to a pharmacy and she buys a pregnancy test. She goes inside the bathroom. She takes the test. She comes out, and when she comes out, she's a little bothered. Like, the cameras are all up in her face, and she tells them, can you guys just leave me alone? She goes home. When she walks in the door, Josh is sitting on the couch playing with Ella. And as soon as she walks in the door, she goes, what are you doing? And Josh says, I'm playing with my daughter. And she said, don't you think you could be looking for a job right now? Like, you really need to be looking for a job. And he's like, no, I think we're fine. And he tells Ella, he says, tell your mom that we're fine. Like, chill out for a little bit because we're going to be okay for a little bit. And Ella says, we're fine. So she says, then Pumpkin says, you know, what if something unexpected comes up? Like, you have to get a job. And he asks her, why are you being so pushy? And she says, well, I'll tell you why. She takes the bag out. She takes the pregnancy test out and she hands it to Josh, and the camera zooms in and it says, yes. Josh says, yes. And then it cuts off. So it does show a preview of the next episode, and it shows Josh looking at it, and it shows Pumpkin saying, are you going to say anything? And then Josh says a few cuss words. The preview for the next episode, we see that Sugar Bear has apparently told Jennifer that Pumpkin is pregnant, and he told her not to tell anybody. He told her, he said, Jennifer, nobody can know. Don't tell anybody. She said, I'm going to tell everybody. And then she laughs. We also see Mama June shopping for presents for Ella's birthday party. We see them getting ready for the birthday party, essentially. So that's what's coming up on the next episode, is I'm assuming the birthday party. At the birthday party, things are really supposed to go to bust, because it seems like Mama June shows up at the birthday party. Sugar Bear and Jennifer are there. They try to get along, but it seems that possibly Jennifer informs Mama June. This is just me guessing, because in the trailer it showed Jennifer telling Mama June, well, your daughter must not tell you everything, and then Mama June yells for Pumpkin. So I'm assuming Jennifer told Mama June, your daughter don't tell you everything, or you would know that she's pregnant, and Mama June gets mad. We also saw a trailer where Mama June left, the cops pull up, arrest her, and she gets thrown in the slammer. Still don't know what for, but we should be finding out in the next few weeks. I will keep you guys updated. I will give you guys another breakdown next week of the latest episode of Mama June Road to Redemption. Give your thoughts. Leave your comments. Josh was not having it. Showed up, picked up Alana, and Pumpkin's pregnant. That's a wrap up of this episode. Mama June was finally honest and told them that she's facing prison time. But yeah, that's a recap of this episode. I'll do it again next week. Leave your thoughts in the comment section below. Give this video a thumbs up. It really helps my channel. If you're watching these videos and you're not subscribed yet, please do that right now. And until next time, I'll see you guys later. Goodbye, everyone.